So, Mario Kart World is gonna get DLC at some point, and I mean, like, yeah, the DLC is gonna have a bunch of new courses, but what about the retro courses? They're running out of courses to remake, and we've seen results of this with the team double dipping with some courses, or even triple dipping with some courses, or even quadruple dipping with some courses. The point is, when this game gets DLC, we're probably going to see some courses that appeared in Mario Kart 8. So we're going to do two top 10 lists. One for courses that are already playable in Mario Kart 8, and one for courses that aren't. How does that sound? I think that sounds good. Okay, here we go. Or well, actually, maybe we should go over the honorable mentions first. There's a few limitations I want to put in place, such as for DS Delfino Square. In order for this to be in the game, it'd have to fit into the open world somehow, and I don't think all of Isle Delfino is feasible for that, even though it'd probably make my top 5. Wii U Super Bell Subway. I think this course would be cool, but I think its theme and gameplay might be a bit too close to Whistle Stop Summit. I love that course, don't get me wrong, but Super Bell Subway is arguably a waste of a slot because of it. DS Shroom Ridge. Even though I think this course is pretty fun and might fit into the open world well, I also feel like it might run into the same issue as Desert Hills, where it doesn't feel like it really adds anything to the open world. GBA Ribbon Road. As much as I would like this game to get any GBA representation, I think this course's theme is another one that couldn't fit into the open world, and there are other GBA courses we could get. Wii U Big Blue. As cool as the course is, I think the chances of crossover courses, especially this one, are very low. The game wants to celebrate the Mario series first, especially judging by how expansive the soundtrack is. You're listening to it right now. And finally, SNES Bowser's Castle 2. After seeing what they did to N64 Wario Stadium, I really want to see other terrible courses get sick remakes, but with the removal of retro prefixes, I don't think we're getting retro Rainbow Roads, Mario Circuits, or, in this case, Bowser's Castles. Alright, that's it. Now let's actually get into the top 10. Number 10, not in Mario Kart 8, 3DS Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo. I'm kinda cheating by putting 2 tracks in this slot, but they both share a location and can come with a battle map as well, I guess. I and literally millions of other people have very fond memories of Woohoo Island for good reason. The place was very expansive and it was a blast to explore. It really felt like every island flyover had something new to find. Not only do you get 2 courses for one location if Woohoo Island is added, but you also get to free roam on the island. The issue with having to fit the course naturally into an open world doesn't really exist either, because you can just place the island down anywhere, as the tracks are just the whole island, unlike Delfino Square, which is just a small part of Isle Delfino. I am kinda breaking my own rules against crossovers with this one, which is why I can't put any higher, but man, I'd be so happy to see it. Number 10 in Mario Kart 8, GBA Sunset Wilds. For some reason, World had no Super Circuit Retros at launch, so I'm hoping the DLC will pick up the slack in that regard. Now, to be fair, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe already has a really good selection of GBA remakes. However, one course they undeniably dropped the ball on was Sunset Wilds, as the titular Sunset was removed. In World, a game with actual day and night cycles, this course would be a great fit. The only issue is that it might not be too well suited to rail grinding or wall riding, and I'm not too crazy about the layout. It's fine, but it's not anything special, which is why I can't in good faith put it any higher. Number 9, not in Mario Kart 8, GBA Luigi Circuit. Despite circuit tracks usually being quite lame, GBA Luigi Circuit has always been a standout to me. I've always felt like its layout is quite a bit more involved than your average circuit course, and aesthetically, it's a real highlight, as these big thunderstorms are usually saved for more dramatic courses like Neo Bowser City and Wario's Shipyard. It makes this course feel like a much bigger deal than many others, and its DS version is one of my favorite circuit courses in the series. However, there's a big issue with this course I need to address. With the removal of retro prefixes stated earlier, courses with the same name are not very likely to appear, and there's a different Luigi circuit I'd prefer in this game. While this one has a more complex layout, I think that one would fit better in this game, but we'll get to that later. Number 9 in Mario Kart 8, Wii Coconut Mall. Coconut Mall has always been a standout course in each of its appearances, despite deteriorating every time it's remade. It's a fan favorite with a simple layout, but one that's beloved nonetheless. I will admit, I've never been into Coconut Mall's layout as the general population was, but this course not getting to add it to World would undeniably be a massive missed opportunity because of free roam. Being able to explore the mall fully would be such an awesome use of a location that people already love. It's an idea that's kinda already teased via all the different rooms of the mall you visit, but World would be a great way to expand on this. I don't have much else to say about this one though. I guess they could make the parking lot cool again. Number 8 not in Mario Kart 8, GBA Lakeside Park. When I think of this course, honestly, I think of those asinine progress lost points. To be honest, I don't really like playing Super Circuit, but I do enjoy Super Circuit courses in other games. They often have pretty involved layouts and creative themes, so being able to enjoy them in games I actually like playing is really nice. This course did get a retooling in Tour to remove the dumb aspects, and also make the craters created by the volcanic rocks be trickable on the second lap, which is a pretty clever use of what were originally pretty inconsequential hazards. So now we know that this course can come back and work, why should it? Well, aside from the game getting GBA representation, I really want to see how this course's environment would be explored more, as while the game's continent does have a jungle, and does have a lava area, they're on opposite sides of the map, and I feel like the juxtaposition would make for a really interesting landmark. That, and I think having this course get a proper redemption in a console game would be nice. Number 8 in Mario Kart 8, 3DS Music Park. Something I really like about the world in Mario Kart World is how naturally a lot of creative course themes are integrated into it, such as Boo Cinema or Toad Factory. For the most part at least, Sky High Sunday notwithstanding. A big reason why I'd want Music Park back is because it'd make for a unique landmark, but I think this is already quite a fun course and I feel like it'd be well suited to the mechanics of World. While it's not as strong as a free roam location as Coconut Mall is, free roam is more of a nice bonus, and I think I like driving on this track more. I can imagine plenty of opportunities for wall rides on the enclosed sections, or rail grinds on the edges of the instruments. That being said, there are other courses I want more than this one, so its great theme can only take it so far. This is a personal top 10, it's not objective at all, despite all of the rules I'm putting in place for myself. Number 7, not in Mario Kart 8, Tour Piranha Plant Pipeline. Tour is going to go out of service sooner or later, and while I can't wait for it to get an offline version like what happened to Pocket Camp, the booster course pack is enough for most people. However, there's one course that somehow missed out on being included, and I don't know why. Piranha Plant Pipeline feels like it was made with at least a little bit of anti-grav in mind, and while it'll never get that, maybe the half-pipe and water sections can lend themselves to wall rinds or rail grinds. Admittedly, this inclusion is primarily for the sake of completion and preservation, but between the fast-flowing water and the relatively rare underground theming, at least in World's roster, I think this had a lot of potential in the game. I also dropped Tour before this course was added, so yeah. You can call me a tourist on this one, I won't feel bad. There's a lot of content from Tour I'd like to see in this game, to be honest, but those are mostly costumes. To be fair, there's a lot of good ones. I mean, like, look at Halloween Rosalina, Wintertime Peach, Cat Rosalina, Gold King Bob-omb, or Yukata Daisy. Number 7 in Mario Kart 8, GBA Sky Garden. A lot of courses did get simplified and transitioned from their original appearance to Mario Kart Tour, but I feel like the simplifications are most common in Super Circuit courses. However, what they did to Sky Garden is beyond simplification. That is just a whole ass other layout. I mean, even Mario Wiki has a comparison of just how much they changed, which you can see on screen right now. Additionally, one of my friends also made a comparison that goes more in detail for the item layout and shortcuts throughout the course, which you can see right now as well. That, combined with a unique turquoise cobblestone being replaced with a far more basic brick road, makes this course really feel like it needs another chance. If it was remade in World with a bunch of opportunities for new roads, that'd be a really exciting comeback for a course I really liked its first remake. Maybe it could be connected to Great Question Block Ruins somehow as well? That'd be fun. Number 6, not in Mario Kart 8, DS Luigi's Mansion. Something I really liked about the Nitros in Mario Kart DS was the fact that a lot of them took locations from the games and turned them into race courses. And I really feel like it did this more than any other game. There's a reason why Airship Fortress, Tick-Tock Clock, and Luigi's Mansion are so beloved. There are two major ways I think this course could really benefit from a remake. Firstly, with the Luigi's Mansion remake on 3DS being out, I think this would be a great opportunity to restore the portrait ghosts to this track. Secondly, with the new philosophy the team takes towards retro tracks nowadays, I feel like it'd be pretty likely to expand upon the forest section at the end instead of just having a bunch of mud patches. Maybe something similar to the end of Acorn Heights. While we're here, I will say that it's courses like these that make me wonder just how much the open world is, for lack of a better term, holding back Mario Kart World. Not being able to fit a course into an open world has made me exclude a lot of courses I want on this list, and I'm not sure if this could naturally fit into a cohesive world. Granted, Music Park and Sky High Sundae also don't really fit, but I guess we'll see what happens. Number 6 in Mario Kart 8, Wii U Sunshine Airport. Since we're all probably sick of this game by now, it's easy to forget that base Mario Kart 8 had a kinda insane lineup of both Nitros and Retros with bangers across the board. And Dry Desert. Sunshine Airport was a course that really made the most of its theme and the relatively limited mechanics of its home game compared to World, with luggage being moved around, an alternate path on a plane wing, and seeing the plane take off at the end of the lap. I'd love to see this expanded on from both a track perspective and a free roam perspective. Maybe they'll draw connections between Sunshine Airport and the Sunshine Express. That'd be fun. Number 5 not in Mario Kart 8, GCN Mushroom Bridge. While you could argue that this course steps on the feet of Crown Bridge, one of the continent's major landmarks, do keep in mind that unlike Crown City and Mushroom City, none of the courses actually go on the bridge, only being visited a small handful of intermissions and a knockout tour. While the landmarks are similar, Mushroom Bridge putting the focus on the bridge is part of what makes it so fun. I think a real testament to this course's strength is that it lost a lot of its cooler aspects while being remade in DS, and was still a banger. Seeing this course remade with all its bells and whistles and more would be awesome, and I'd love to see how this course is expanded in a game as freeform as World. This course is just so cool, and it'd be nice to have a real traffic dodging course in this game. A real one. Number 5 in Mario Kart 8, Wii U Dragon Driftway. Is it just me, or does it feel like the Wii U DLC Nitros kinda get overshadowed by the retros and crossover courses? It's unfortunate, because these courses have a lot of cool things going on. I will say, I went back and forth between this course and Ice Ice Outpost for my Wii U DLC pick. I like this course's theming better, but I like Ice Ice Outpost's layout and, crucially, its shortcuts better. However, you have to remember that World builds onto its retro courses a lot. Therefore, it's extremely likely that more alternate paths would be added, and those alternate paths would probably be more meaningful than what Ice Ice Outpost currently has. While you could argue that this course's design is reliant on anti-grav, World has a few sections that would have been anti-grav in Mario Kart 8, but aren't in this game, and they still play well while making the twists and turns feel more impactful than they'd be in 8. I think this course would make the jump over to World just fine. Number 4 not in Mario Kart 8, Wii Dry Ruins. The more I think about it, the more I realize that this is probably the best desert track in the series. I mean, for starters, it has a pretty dynamic layout with lots of opportunities for tricks. There's also so few half-pipes in World, and I know those would be fun to have more of. With all that said though, it wouldn't be this high if that's all it had. It also has those standout landmarks with the temple and the Yoshi Sphinx. It has much more varied visuals than your average desert course, and the temple's layout floods with sand more each lap. Mario Kart Wii kinda toyed with the idea of courses changing between laps with this and Grumble Volcano, and now that the series has expanded on that idea, seeing this course come back would be pretty cool. And seeing those pillars fall over and become trick ramps as the course progresses, what a nice bonus! Honestly, I'm surprised they picked Desert Hills over this course. Number 4 in Mario Kart 8, GCN Daisy Cruiser. It's no secret that this game's open world is flawed. One of its most disappointing areas is the ocean between courses like Koopa Troopa Beach, and pretty much all of its surrounding areas due to how empty it is. So what if you could have a course in that area? I think Daisy Cruiser would be a sick choice for this game. Not just because it's a good course with a cool theme and a fun layout, but I think the idea of a course that has the potential to move around the waters of the open world is super cool, and I want to see it explored, along with the course itself exploring its theme very well. If it was just carried by free roam stuff, it wouldn't be that high, even if I think this would be an extremely creative implementation of the course in free roam. Also, Daisy is so cool, and I'm always happy to see more Daisy courses. Also, it would appear that I have focused on fleshing out the continent's transit systems. That's crazy. Okay, wait. Before we get to the top spots, one more round of honorable mentions. There's a lot of courses with big, standout landmarks, but there's a lot of courses where those landmarks could be shared, kinda like how Woohoo Loop and Maka Woohoo share a location. Let's start with Wii U Cloud Top Cruise sharing a location with Sky Garden. The two courses are both very cool, and even though I prefer Cloud Top Cruise as a course, I think Sky Garden needs to remake more. Wii Grumble Volcano sharing a location with Lakeside Park. With the big volcano in the course's background, I feel like any volcano course could fit here. I just feel like Grumble Volcano would be my preferred choice. It always stood out to me as, even in Wii, its layout changed every lap, even if it was only slight compared to courses like Dino Jungle in this game, or Crown City. And finally, GBA Yoshi Desert sharing a landmark with Dry Ruins. Both of these courses have a big Yoshi Sphinx. Dry Ruins is the better course, but I'm not really in a rush to remake Wii courses considering just how many 8 has, though there are better GBA courses to pick. For number 3 that's not Mario Kart 8, let's keep the music playing because as soon as we knew 24 players would be driving on a course at once, the hopes for Baby Park were everywhere. Now, even though we got a killer remix of the course's music, the closest we got to Baby Park was Koopa Troopa Beach, which really fails to capture the item chaos of the real Baby Park, leaving it with just kinda a boring layout. To avoid having another course with a boring layout, I suggest the GCN Luigi Circuit. With 24 players, high places will constantly be running head-on to low places with their crazier items, and I feel like it'll capture the chaos we wanted out of Baby Park while having a unique layout. Even if it's simple, there's genuinely nothing like it. Also, it's a Luigi course, and that's awesome. Why does the game get Mario Bros Circuit and then a separate Mario Circuit? Even I'm not that much of a narcissist. Number 3 in Mario Kart 8 is actually going to be Wii U Water Park. For a lot of people, this course was a waste of a theme. For a long time, I was indifferent towards it as it did what a Mushroom Cup was supposed to do. But, with the event of Boo Cinema also wasting its theme, my view on this course is kinda sour despite its tutorial placement. Considering how much this course featured underwater driving and anti-grav, both of which aren't in World, Water Park would have an excuse to play completely differently in this game. Think of how Wario Stadium would be really boring if it was just a faithful remake of the original course. I think when it's unshackled from being an early course, like what they did with Toad's Factory, it'll be a blast to play on. I'm thinking something similar to Wild Woods from 8's DLC, with the rapid section or the lily pads, course elements that take better advantage of the fun stuff you can do with water in this game. You could argue that I should have put Wild Woods here instead of Water Park, but I like this course's aesthetic more, and it avoids stepping on the toes of Acorn Heights. Number 2, not in Mario Kart 8, N64 DK's Jungle Parkway. Despite being the first DK course in the series and appearing in Wii, this course missed out on a remake in the Booster Course Pass. Maybe it was too similar to DK Jungle? I don't know if I agree with that, but I feel like this course is overdue for a remake. There's a lot of fun turns, and I feel like the river separating the two halves of the track makes it also stand out as a unique landmark. Putting traps on the narrow bridge will also be really fun considering how crowded 24-player races can be. Not only that, but since this course's last remake, gliders and water driving have been introduced, and both of them could fit in this course's massive cannon jump. I feel like giving players an option to take a glider ramp or the water would kinda harken back to Dekong Racing. I don't know, I think it'd be cool. Even though I've never played Dekong Racing. Oops! Number 2 in Mario Kart 8, Wii Koopa Cape. This course's big modernization in Mario Kart 7, and something that unfortunately stayed around in 8, was the addition of underwater driving. But that came at the cost of the flowing water and the electric propellers, both of which are very fun course elements in the pipe at the end of the course. While Coconut Mall has also gotten worse with every iteration, none of its changes that defanged it nearly as much as Koopa Cape has been. With underwater driving gone, I think it's time for this course to have its grand restoration. I don't know what else to say. This course is sick and I want to see it again for reals this time. Seriously, this is the sort of course you really had to be there for, both gameplay wise and aesthetically. Hell, this course would give, of all items, the gold shell a new level of relevance that it wouldn't have on other courses. Since the rapids only cover the center of the pipe, the shell that also covers the center of the course is going to be much more threatening than it would be anywhere else. Jesus Christ, were the blue shells always this common in this game? Out of all the Mario Kart courses, there's two that really feel like roller coasters to me, and I don't think they're going to add a giant pinball machine to this game's open world. And that just leaves us with number 1 not in Mario Kart 8, GCN Wario Coliseum. And I can't stress how perfect of a pick this would be for World. The changes in elevation lend themselves really well to airtime. You explore a lot of the structure in the actual race itself. Hell, it even won't be intermissions as the course is so long. You'd have a much more substantial amount of actual course. None of this would matter if the course wasn't fun to drive, but it really is despite the length. Of course, it does have its unique lap structure to circumvent the length, and regardless of whether they turn this into a 3-section course like N64 Rainbow Road, or make it 2 laps like Double Dash, I feel like this will still be fun. They could even make it a 3-lap track with a bunch of turbo sections, but that's probably not going to happen. Curiously, there's currently no remix of the Wario and Waluigi theme from Double Dash, so this course might already be planned for DLC, but that's just conjecture. While World doesn't feel as frantic as Double Dash, I know World will still be able to capture the energy of the original course and more, with lots of opportunities for tricks and fun races. Throughout the courses that appeared in the Booster Course Pass, there were a lot that, in one way or another, gave us a taste of what the future of Mario Kart could look like. Whether it be tracks changing between laps, or new alternate routes on old courses, the Booster Course Pass managed to do a lot despite lifting assets from Tour. However, no course gave us a better taste of what the future of Mario Kart and the standard of track design going forward would look like than number 1 in Mario Kart 8, Tour Ninja Hideaway. Even without Mario Kart 8 having all the platforming mechanics added to World, this course still manages to have platforming with tons of tricky alternate routes. Think of the cycle-based shortcut on the moving platform, or the boosts you can get from airstreams to reach higher paths. It's already a type of course where, similarly to a lot of courses in World, it feels like a single 3-lap race doesn't do the course justice. Considering how World finds ways to build onto its retro courses with more options for alternate routes, I can't imagine how expansive this course would be if it were to be added to that game. This course is sick as hell, and would fit right into World with its design philosophy. So, that's it. If you stuck around for the entire video, thanks! This is the first time in a while I've really focused and made a long form content. So, thanks for sticking with me for the entire thing. I really wanted to get this out before they inevitably reveal some sort of DK course in the upcoming Nintendo Direct, and I look like a bit of a fool, so hopefully everything works out. Also, if you were curious about the course's placement relative to each other, including the honorable mentions from earlier in the video, I made a cute little tier list showing every course that I mentioned in this video. Delfino Square, my beloved. But yeah, once again, thank you for watching, and bye!